Greetings and welcome back to Created by Chaos. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Now, I wanted to talk to you about something. About a week ago, I did a nice little video on Spacfiller and how it can be used and so forth. One of my friends from Games Workshop suggested, have I heard of a stuff they use called liquid green stuff? I'd never heard of it. Now, normal green stuff I have, of course, which is this two-part putty, and I had recently used it on my humongous piece of terrain there on the end. I had a little bit of a gapping problem, so that was perfect. So I thought I would give this green stuff a bit of a whiz. I've got some joins here. Now you may notice the fact that it's got white powder. Now that isn't spac filler. What I normally do with joins is, if the join is particularly annoying, what I will do is I will get my good old-fashioned super glue and I will whack it in there into the join, and then I have this little instrument which is filled with good old-fashioned baking powder. Now if you pop baking powder over, or sprinkle it over and over with super glue, not only does it dry really quickly and gets a little warm, but it creates a much stronger bond. Very strong. So what I've been doing is I've been gluing and then sprinkling a little bit of baking powder and smearing it all on, and then if need be a little bit more super glue and a little bit more, and the bond it makes it's like concrete. It's amazing stuff. But I have those little gaps. Now I could use spac filler on there and so forth, but hey, I like trying different things. And the interesting thing about, I've been told, is that this stuff you can use with a paintbrush. If it's too thick and gluggy, you can wipe it down, water it down with a bit of water, and then use it. And I am fascinated by that. That sounds interesting. So normally I would just use, a good old Citadel tool, just to, clean it up and put it on. But I'm going to try a brush. Now, before I start, I am not in any way, shape, or form endorsed by Games Workshop. Any product that is awesome, I don't care who makes it. If I like it, I'll say in my video, I think this is great. It just happens that Games Workshop does make a lot of really neat stuff. So, from what I've been told, you just need any regular old brush. And that's an old brush from my local hardware store. I pop it open. I assume I've got to give it a bit of a shake beforehand. And now what we got? Right, so it's like a tar, I guess. Yeah. And all I'm doing is I've got these little tiny gaps. So all I want to do is just dab it in there. Now the wonderful thing is, much like spac filler, I am assuming that my thumb and my finger will make, oh, it is very nice. Wow. All right, that's impressive. And then I just wiggle that in there. Wow, that's good. I'm impressed. All right. So what I might do is I see the downside to this stuff. While it is good, it is not as malleable as spac filler. So let's just try a little bit more. Wow, that's impressive. Now, I don't know if you can tell by a video, but the crease line where it is now completely gone. I've got a little bit of green stuff on some of these slates and so forth, but that can just be wiped up. And I have had a bit of a dummy run with the little spatula beforehand. I always like to give it a go, but not with a brush. And the brushes just work so well. Well, let's try it out. I've got this bit in the far corner here. This bit of line up here. This is quite thick. Now I have to say, I would never have thought of using a brush, ever. Yeah, see, now down the bottom here, it's worked quite well. Up here, not so much. So, well, maybe it has. I'm just being picky. So let me just give it a little bit more of a goo. Now, the interesting thing is, with the original green stuff, I know the fact that it's mildly toxic. So, you know, not like, you're going to fall over dead or anything, but, after using it, there we go, beautiful. After you use it, you got to wash your hands. There is no such warning on this. I don't know if that means it's not toxic or they just haven't put it on the label. Now, that's come up beautifully. All I need to do now is, what I can do is get a little fine brush with some water on it if I wanted to, and just smear it on there. I'm going on a roll here. I used the little spatula thingy before on a bit down here, and it worked out okay. Not amazing, but okay, I'd say. But the brush, I am really impressed. That is so good. I think what will happen is I will use spack filler on more bigger parts. The only downside to using this stuff is it's not cheap. It's about $15, $20-ish per tub. But that is impressive. Yeah, I think if I'd used this on the roof tiles, it wouldn't have worked as much. I think this stuff is for very, very thin joints, like, stuff you could only just fit a bit of paper through. Now, I tried this before with the spatula device here. Might just give it a once over with some of this and a brush, because that is so good. Yeah, the brush is applying it a lot better. It's almost like painting. Wow. I am impressed. I thought I'd seen everything in modeling, but, well, more for me. All right, so, yeah. And then the edge bits, just smear around with your finger. Sorry, I'm off camera there. And just smear it around. At the end of the day, I don't think anyone's going to really notice any major problems. What I might do is come in here with a little modeling tool and just remove some of the grooves and so forth. But for the most part, no, I think this is awesome. Wow. That is so good. That is. All right, one final test. I've got a little joint on the outside here. All right, so I'm just going to dab mine in a little bit of water. I've got this little disc here. So it's a little bit more watery. Okay, give them a bit more water. Right, so what I want to do is I just want to first do the joint at the top. Yeah, you can tell the difference. It's very, very different. Yeah, that works well. And down the side we have that join. Now, the reason why I've watered it down is because, I have no idea what watered down does, and it's impressed me so far, so let's go with it. 2, if it lasts a bit longer and has the same effect, then why wouldn't you water it down? Alright. Alright, so what I can tell is the fact that watered down has a, ooh, hello. Right, so I've just added a bit more green, liquid green stuff here. Okay. Yeah. All right, so yeah, I don't think watered down is particularly, it does do the job. Yeah, it does do the job, but it's a little bit more work. But on the upside, it allows you to get into like wood particles and so forth, or the fake wood here and so forth. What I might do is just color that whole thing in there with the green stuff. I mean, it's got to blend in anyway, so why not use it to my advantage? All right, well, yeah. All right, so I'm impressed. This stuff is well worth its money. The only other way I was done that would have been spac filler, and look, don't get me wrong, the spac filler is a godsend. For this little tub here, I could have gotten 5 or 6 tubs of spac filler. Now, the only thing I do want to know is when this dries, how does it sand? Because that's important. Because what I'll be doing is, once this entire thing is done, I'm just printing off chunks of the roof at the moment. What I'll be doing is I'll be giving it a nice smooth sanding down so everything's nice and even, doing any modifications that I have to, and then I'll start painting it, which is, oh, I'm so excited for that. But before I get to that point, I have to make sure all the gaps are filled in, everything is looking perfectly fine. So if this stuff doesn't sand very well, I'm pretty sure it will. But, you know, best made plans of mice and men, I guess. You know, you can plan for everything, but just tiny little gap there. There we go. All right. Well, thank you very much for joining me on this little quest. I'll just briefly put this together so you can see what I've done so far. You guys have been very good to me. If you like this video, please click a like. If you want to subscribe or leave a comment, please do. So this is the castle so far. I'll try to bring this back so it can be seen. So that's a 28mm miniature, I guess. Yeah, it's huge. This is one of 30 models I'll be printing, and this disturbingly little thing is the small one. I'm actually going to be doing what's called Dracula's Castle, and it's like 8 times the size of this. It's immense, but that's further down the track. After this one, I'm going to do some houses and so forth for the village. And what I'll be doing is putting together basically the city of Mordheim. It'll be interesting. It's a year-long piece of work. We'll see how we do. Yeah, it's lovely. If you have any questions, please ask. This is Chaos out. You have a lovely day.